Valdia works as a diamond appraiser in the customs office in Jakarta. She is about to leave when she meets a woman who compliments her eyes and predicts that their paths will cross again. Valdia's sister Dara has gone missing, and she hasn't heard from her for 5 years. She went to a job interview and never came back. The guy who used to date her sister Randy is now dating Valdia, and they're about to get married. Valdia finds a pen drive hidden behind a framed picture of her and Dara. She checks its contents and finds her sister's letters of application for a job as a photographer at a company registered under P.O. Box 888. Valdia learns that the P.O. Box was paid for 40 years ago and has been rented for 100 years now. She also learns that another woman has been inquiring about it. Valdia meets her and learns that her husband also applied for a job at the same company, then went missing, and when he came home, he was covered in blood with a hole in his head. He urged his family to hide as he feared that someone was coming to kill them. The man worked at the National Research Agency and was brilliant. Valdia shows the man her sister's picture, and he breaks down in tears. Valdia wants to get the police involved, but the man's wife is scared and reveals that someone cut her husband's head open and took out a bit of his brain. When the job advertisement appears on the paper, Valdia applies. She then gets a box in the post office where the PO 888 is and waits for the people who will come and collect the job applications. 2 men show up, so Valdia hides in their car trunk. The 2 men drive to an underground parking lot. She then gets into the elevator with the rest of the applicants. She learns that the company doesn't specify what skills they're looking for, but that all the applicants have attributes. One of them realizes that they all have specifically trained body parts, like the violinist who has trained fingers, the soccer player has a good heart and strong legs, the chef with his tongue, the researcher who has a great brain, the swimmer with her leg muscles, arms and heart, the singer with her vocal cords, and Valdia because she has beautiful eyes. Just then the elevator stops and some gas emanates and knocks them all out. Valdia wakes up in a dungeon tied to a chair along with the other applicants. She sees the violinist's hands being chopped off and served to the demons. Next, the researcher's brain is extracted and feasted on. Valdia watches in horror and loses consciousness. The waitress then brings her to the table, but Valdia attacks her and tries to flee. The waitress catches up with her and injects her with a sedative. She has a vision of her sister Dara, who urges her to stay calm. Valdia calls the monsters cannibals, but Adrian and Sophia explain that they only take their most trained and talented body parts, which makes them the utmost peak of the food pyramid. The demons reveal that they killed her sister and ate her eyes. Valdia dreams of her sister, who encourages her to keep going and live her best life with Randy. The demons are about to feast on her eyes when each of the survivors from the previous episodes stormed the dungeon. They teamed up together, including Wahyu, Dewi, Ali, Penji, Rania, and Lakshmi, the woman who has been following Valdia. They shoot the demons and use their hypnotic powers against Sophia and co and manage to blow their heads off. Lakshmi walks up to Valdia and saves her. Wahyu reveals that they are called the antibodies, who will drive all of the demons from their world for the good of humanity. He explains that the demons were created at the same time as humans. They were inferior and lived below in Agartha. Now they want to take over the world. Valdia decides to join them to fight these demons.